part 2.
Sorry, that was my fault.
So we could have planted these closer together to get a more bush feel like what you can see across.
Yeah. We'll get there. I mean, the intent is to shade out the grass so that we don't have to be faced with mowing it. Yeah, which it will.
We'll just keep adding to it. So I've planted 4 more plants in here, but you've got one right in front of you.
Yeah, Titoki. He's a nice tree.
Nice, beautiful. All of them native. We'll only plant natives in this area. So yeah, that's where the mowing has stopped. But this was done with a fly mow. It performs much better than a strimmer. We need to, if you're in New Zealand.
Yes. But don't be fooled into thinking that it was easy. It was not easy. It was a lot of hard work. Because you can't really tell on here, but it's quite the slope.
I can show you the bottom.
And just so, yeah, still got that to do. So probably not even halfway just yet. Don't know that slippers were the best choice.
I'm gonna walk the fucking hill.
So it is, compared to what it was, and you can see that there's a lot of trees in there. There's more trees than you can actually see. But now, when it's all been mowed down, we can actually properly see the trees, and it's looking great.
So I mowed all of the pond area, and then I did a whole lot of weed spraying as well, just because we're starting to get blackberry bush and not the thornless type. So you'll see a lot of the grass dying off here. That's me. I like to walk the fence lines and spray them in areas where it's really hard to get a mower or a strimmer. So it's a bit easier to do. It can be a long day mowing a lawn, especially if one doesn't fucking want to go.
Yeah, we got them going in the end. Just got to remember to start both mowers every week, otherwise it takes a bit of work.
So we've done some planting in here, but we've also got some of self-seeding, heaps of self-seeding ferns, which is really making it look properly pond-like.
You can see we've got ferns and puckers and cabbage trees.
And then we've got some...
look, we've got heaps of this. Toi, yep.
There's flax in there, hebes,
cabbage trees.
A couple of kowhai trees. They're not doing too well. This side here is a bit dry, but...
Oh, that's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's new. We have to start throwing them up a bit, I think.
Yeah.
But
bring the fly mow down.
The fly mow is what we needed. What we bought the fly mow for is for this sort of sloped area, and so that we can get down to the because I had to do this with a hand mower and it's fucking too heavy, so it took ages. But with the fly mow you can just, because we've planted a lot in here, you just can't see it on the bank.
Yeah.
And you do need them on these sorts of banks, especially when it's something holding water.
Yep. They're all coming to life. They're looking pretty good. Got ferns.
And as you can see, where it's all starting to brown off, that's where I've sprayed. And I had to spray a lot of the blackberry bushes that have come back. Thankfully with blackberry bushes, they root shallow, so it's easier to kill them off. They just spread so quickly. That's our tropical garden. So it's looking really good now. Still more plants to go in here. They obviously need some more support plants to grow over them to shelter them from winter.
Yeah, we need to get some bark so they're all mulched in.
And holding moisture. We also need to do a bit of terracing on this, or swales, as they're sometimes called, to hold water. It helps establish our trees. That side there is the other part of the tropical garden, same as this thing here. So this will have paths coming down to the pond area, but if you can hear those birds, those are parrots, rosellas they're called. They're gone.
This needs another mow.
Yeah,
Oh.
so.
You're following us?
Yeah, so you look down here, it's
Flowing again. We had a
Yeah,
couple of
so-
days of rain.
so we'll have to dig it out again. It's just
Yeah.
overgrown. But
That's
it'll be
alright.
much easier with the fly mow.
But we are getting shorter days now, so we don't have as much time in the evening, which is nice in
Yeah.
some respects. We can get to watch TV without any guilt. But
Tomorrow is I've got to finish got to get our tractor out and give it a run,
Okay.
and re-clean our re-mow our our animal paddocks.
see, you probably can't see from here, but our Kahikatea tree is completely covered in berries. All these bright orange berries, which
Which is why we
you can eat, but it's a bit of a mission to get to them. And they're very tiny, so we'll leave them for the birds, which there are millions of at the moment, it seems.
They get into our chicken feed, which is why we almost have a murmuration of the bloody things around. Gotta figure out how to feed our birds without feeding the whole bloody neighbourhood of wild birds as well. Anyway, it's a case of just cleaning up because it wasn't neglected. We just didn't do as much as we have in the last 3 months, actually, since Christmas.
You missed this hill.
No, you saw what ride-on I was on. I'm not falling off that thing just for the sake of grass.
We've taken the Husqvarna down this hill once, sideways, so chose not to do that again. I'm not sure who was more terrified, me watching or ants on it. But
Yeah, so
it's looking pretty tidy though.
it looks pretty good. You'll see all of the what are they called?
I don't know what you're pointing at. Compost bins. Oh yeah.
Those are all going. They're fucking ugly, and they're in the wrong place. This is.
Eventually, yeah, they serve a purpose at the moment, which is quite useful. Oh, hey, Kaffia. The cats still enjoy coming for a walk with us, so haven't been for one for a while. Hello, sweetness.
Oh, we're also going to have a look at the nut trees. We actually haven't been over there in a while.
We can go to the nut trees. We won't go any further because cats have a tendency to run off chasing possums, and then we have to try and rescue the cats. So we won't go too far. Yeesh. Come on then.
You might remember we've got 2 walnut trees, 2 macadamias, 2 pecans, and 1 almond out here. I obviously want to plant more, but this is also an animal paddock, so it'll need to be fenced off at some point. actually not growing too badly.
No, it's looking alright. Pretty good. Do need to repair this fence, it's had a bit of a slip. You stay there, Dust. She can't walk too far these days, she's a bit old.
So yeah, this is like a rectangular paddock, and right at the end it's got a triangular bit attached to it. That triangular bit is the nut grove. It doesn't look like much, but it's huge.
Yeah.
So
we need some more in here actually, don't we?
Yeah, we can get some more plants in here, no issue there. And the thing is, our property is nice and flat at this point, but at our fence line, our neighbour's property, it goes straight down. So that's why we've got these big, deep-rooted plants, trees planted here.
Help hold up the bank, won't it?
To hold up our part of the...
These walnuts, I think,
so we
just on the turn.
We bought these and planted, you little fuckers. Sorry, but these rabbits. We planted these not even last season.
No, it's just summer's growth basically.
Yeah, so but yeah, they got a good, nice, strong lead.
Yeah.
This is the smaller of the two. The bigger one's over there.
I'll try and walk sideways because of the sun. Macadamia's not too flash.
That's alright. We sometimes just need to bed in.
We did have some fields carved out up here, but we've lost them a little bit. It's looking pretty nice and healthy and tall, so hopefully give it a couple of years and we'll have walnuts.
I'll put some protection on these ones as well. We just haven't been over here. Felt a bit rude to walk away from.
Well, Carthy is feeding them. Thanks, Carthy.
Our almond tree has probably done the best.
Yes.
The smaller. Now it seems to be one of the bigger ones.
Pretty well established almond.
Oh, what I read is that possums don't like lights and flashing lights and all that sort of stuff, so they won't climb the tree. So,
yes, you probably
we'll see if that works.
There's a whole bunch of fairy lights on there.
We'll see if that theory works out. So they're on the almond for that reason. It's well away from their house, so there's no way we can stop them, but we'll see if it works. Hello.
This a pecan?
Yes, that's a pecan. Yeah, this macadamia is doing quite well.
It is.
Pecan, good year's growth. This macadamia is doing a lot better.
Yeah, he seems to have sorted himself out. He started off these leaves down the bottom, they were all like that. But it seems that he's had a whole bunch of new growth and he's starting to look a bit healthy. Although our weather has been pretty Australian lately, so that could have something to do with it, I guess.
I must love that sort of warmth. Here's our other pecan. This is the older of the two. Yeah. Not by a lot, but older. But for those of you who are familiar with New Zealand native trees, just over here is a Cody tree. Now it was all red. Which that would be winter. Yeah. Now it's all green and.
You see, all of that green is one season's growth. So it's growing quickly.
It's growing really quickly, and it's on a steep slope, so it's going to be awesome. Right next to it, we have tortara trees, one below it, one in front of it. Another tortara there, and in front of the tortara is the rimu tree. And then we've got manuka down the bottom.
Yep.
And
obviously our giant kahikatea.
There's that bigger kahikatea.
That one. Now, this isn't a rimu, is it? What's this one?
No, rata?
Rata, yeah.
There's a rata tree. There's two of them. But this one, it's actually come back to life.
Yeah,
I don't quite know what goes on with this tree. It's a funny.
I think they just look dead. I think that's how they look.
Yeah, well, they're.
It's
so
not.
This one is genuinely. These are humongous trees. You'll know about Tāne Mahus in the North Island. It's 1,000 years old or older, I think now. Older, I think they've figured. nice big trees to have.
Are you waiting, Dust? She doesn't like to go for the long walk, so she's... We're going down or around?
No, we'll go around.
Go around.
So we're going to get pigs next, kuni pigs.
We need to get some
looking at
fencing.
shelters and how we're supposed to look after them, but we went to the SPCA and they had some alpacas, 4 of them, no home.
Yeah.
Don't know, but certainly kuni-kunis, nice to have them. We just don't know where to put them.
Well, we've sort of figured out a couple of areas, but we need to get some fences built, so we wouldn't mind getting some post and rail fences put in with a couple of big square yards, wouldn't we? So that we've actually got somewhere to house some smaller livestock like pigs and ducks and things like that. So we'll give that a go.
I don't know that we'll consider goats, just because they're bloody escape artists and don't need that drama.
No. But if we're having pigs, then we'll probably have baby pigs. So it'll be good to have a couple of pens to be able to switch them around so that we're not having new pigs every 3 months. As much as I like bacon, I think we'd both get sick of it.
Yeah, but it'll be, well, even if we do fill our freezers, we've still got to sell some of them off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these paddocks with this one here, that one over there, there's one with a huge mound in it, and this one here we're going to reserve for alpacas and cows.
Cows. Yeah, we want some cows.
So they're good breeds to mix because they don't share diseases, so less likely to make each other sick. You can't have sheep with alpacas because, for one, they shit everywhere, and for two, that shit is the same, carries a lot of...
It's the same worms
same
and
sort of
parasites that affect sheep can affect alpacas, but cows and alpacas, their parasites don't affect each other, which is quite handy.
Yeah, and the thing with alpacas is they shit in one place, so they're not likely to eat where they shit and pick up disease.
Not that I actually know where our alpacas actually are today, but maybe that's them right over the back.
Oh yeah.
Maybe quite see them just over the hill.
Yeah. All the freedom we give them, they're still quite friendly. They're not wild.
The alpacas?
Mm-hmm.
No, they're pretty friendly now. Been shampooing them every couple of weeks or so because Izzy and a couple of the others picked a bit of mange, which is just really caused by lice. It makes them itch. So we've been shampooing them and putting Frontline on, so they're getting a bit more used to being handled. Yep.
So Russ did some time lapse, but then his phone died. But you'll see, we'll put it up with this video, or at least link it somewhere. We don't know how to do all that YouTube shit, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Of him mowing the hillside. Yeah, well, I think we're probably going to invest in the GoPro and maybe a tripod and do some, because I think the market garden will probably be the next manual labour bit. Oh, I bought quite a few berry trees, berry plants, so I'll plant those later.
Yeah. I think the greenhouse might be next on the list.
Oh yes.
We'll see how we go. We've got some time off over Easter.
Avocado tree.
Yes. Now I would like to say it's looking wonderfully healthy, which it is, but this is not actually the first one we got. We do have another one which was from Dad and Beryl. It's alive. it's not doing as well, but it is still alive, so that's a good thing. So we should find, as we head into autumn and more rain comes, it should jump back into life.
Yeah, it gets smashed by the wind, but we'll figure.
Yeah.
Oh, now the bloody... So the glass house, or greenhouse.
Yes, we've got a bit of work to do there.
These are our Cape gooseberries. Where these are is where the glass house frame is. I keep saying glass house because I'm used to glass in a greenhouse, not plastic. Anyway, these are coming out, or they'll have to come out so that the frame for the greenhouse can go in.
What are you doing in there, chickens?
Some Cape gooseberries.
Yeah, there's heaps in here. Yeah, loads and loads. I don't know if you don't know what Cape gooseberries are, or Physalis, these little orange berries that they sort of taste a little bit like a tomato, but very, very sweet and a bit tangy and sharp.
So it's got a guava taste as well. So it's tomato and guava, I guess. There's a combination of those two.
They're nice, but I wouldn't want to eat,
heaps of them. Probably good in a salad, like a cherry tomato.
or a pav.
Or a pav, mate.
Pav would be nice.
It's got a sharpness that'll counteract the sweet.
Kiwi and nose would be really good.
So I've sprayed all along here, and this is because we're putting stone down in between all of the beds. So
finishing off the path.
Yeah, so it looks a bit
uniform.
Because right now it's a bit. What's the term that Mary Berry uses?
Ooh.
Informal.
Yes.
Anyway.
So that's where our glass house is going. It's already got a frame because there used to be one there. So we'll reuse that. We'll pull out all of the Cape gooseberries. And yes, I think we're going to concrete in the base, so we've got a nice solid base with no weeds coming through. And we've got a tap over there, so that's really useful.
So we've got a second chicken hut now. We did an experiment and bought some fertile eggs because we had 2 broody chickens, and they ended up eating the eggs because they were so hungry.
They had food, but they're just stupid chickens. And we're going to give hydroponics a go at some stage, so that greenhouse is probably stage 1 of that.
We've got the barn, which doesn't get used for anything but rubbish.
So we've got rhubarb. I do need to do some cooking with rhubarb. This has actually done really well.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yeah.
This year.
We've got asparagus. So we're not picking it yet because you've got to leave it for 2 or 3 years before you start harvesting, but it's in. And we've actually got some, surprisingly, we've got some silver beet, because we didn't actually plant this. You can see it's actually still in its seed tray, but it's just put all of its roots straight through the bottom of the seed tray. Now it's huge.
This is the dust bath.
Yeah, chickens use this to clean themselves. Despite the fact it's middle of autumn, we still have capsicums or bell peppers, and they're still producing. Oh yeah, he's going quite red. Yeah, he's pretty big. A few green ones and a few yellow ones in there. So they're doing well.
Leeks.
Celery. Need to cook some leeks there.
And purple cabbage.
They're ready. And actually there's a few tomatoes still in here. I don't know if you can see those. They're big tomatoes, so...
That's good. I think we've had enough of cherry tomatoes and they just get away from you.
Yeah, we did have them up on a trellis and it just got far too heavy.
We weren't paying attention to anything,
so
really.
They're still going, and there's a few leeks in there which we plant at the same time, really, so that when the summer veg dies off, there's something already there, which we did with this bed. This had pumpkins in it. Pumpkins are finished, we've harvested them, they're in the garage, and now we've got leeks almost ready, so we've probably got about 50 leeks, which might be too many.
Now the chicken enclosures is one thing where we might actually put our ducks once we first get them in here.
We can close them in, can't we?
Yeah, because they'll be runner ducks, so they'll be flightless or muscovys maybe. But it's a good area to start them off and let them get used to being handled and all around people.
Completely close them in, and it's a nice big area really. They've got shelter in the trees.
And we'll just put a paddling pool in there for them for the time being, and then once our orchard is mature, we can then move them out there as long as we get them fenced in properly. They do need head cover because we do have hawks here, and they're the only things that they actually really need to worry about, except for stoats. But we've got 2 cats who seem to...
They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
This is a makeshift chicken baby enclosure, which I had to throw together really quickly. It's pretty sturdy, because I did not know that eggs were arriving. So we had about 3 weeks, I think, before they were going to be ready. So we threw it together in the hope, but it's here now ready. So if we have a sick chicken, or if we get a couple more chickens, then we've got somewhere just to put them in for the time being. But they still all sleep in this one, and they're pretty happy. In fact, I think we might even have a chicken in there already, ready to go to bed. Oh, we've got a few in here. How many have we got? 4. Hey, gals. Yeah. Oh yes, we got Esther and Beulah. Still scratching around for the last bit of food before they go to bed. And
so the next 2, what's they gonna... We did have 2 names for the next 2. Oh, there they are. Gertrude. What's that one?
I'm not sure.
Petunia? Something like that. But I'll be interested in pig names.
Yeah, we're going to have to come up with a theme for pigs, so if you've got any ideas.
We'll have a boy pig and 2 girl pigs. Crinnies.
It's all looking a bit messy, so don't look too closely.
Oh yeah, I've got to plant these because with all of the tropical fruit trees, we're also looking at tropical plantings or some sort of canopy cover for them, because I don't like the cold too much.
Oh, here it are. There's our harvest. So we got us a few pumpkins for the winter, which will do us, which is really good. I'm not sure that we even planted a butternut squash. I think that just appeared, so that was quite helpful.
Probably from last year's harvest.
Yeah.
We are thinking about extending our solar panels because we found over summer we were using the pool heater a lot. So we want to continue swimming further into the year. That requires a bit more panels.